Hello, this is Danielle Ireland, and you are listening to Don't Cut Your Own Bangs, a solo cast. And today, I want to talk about desire. Desire is such a beautiful, powerful, and I feel pleasant emotion, which is why I'm so excited to talk about, because I think oftentimes when we're in those early stages of wanting to explore, express, or get in touch with our emotions, we tend to very naturally and instinctively focus on pain or the painful emotions, particularly when new clients are coming in for a first session. Most of the time, the catalyst that gets someone motivated or driven to want to deal with or confront an emotion or an emotional experience is pain, right? People come in and they want to sit down and they want to talk about, this is where I'm in pain, or this is where I'm in conflict and I need to deal with it, which is so important, valid, and true. I think it's also worthwhile to remember what all the quote unquote work is for. We want to do all of this work, get the gunk out of the way so that we can access more happiness, more joy, more enthusiasm, pleasure, and even desire. And so specifically, what I'm excited to explore about desire is there is, I think, a natural sort of transition that happens that as we start to get clear about what's not working in our lives or what we want to shift or change in our lives, that clarity, that awareness, almost as soon as it happens, it shifts to desire. Oh, so this relationship, this way that I'm showing up, or this habit that I have, isn't making me feel good. I'm not feeling good anymore with this. So shift to desire. What would I want to feel instead? What would I want to do instead? What would that next step look like? And that's where I think the process, or again, the quote unquote work, this emotional work, goes from feeling like pain management or problem solving and can shift into something really exciting. And so I want to refer to desire in the context of this conversation today I want to refer to it as the desire state. When we are in a desire state, usually it's on the other side of discovery or on the other side of a painful event where we have some clarity, some new insight. And when we're in a state of desire, we're daydreaming more, we're observing our environment more and looking, oftentimes unconsciously, looking for things that please us. What is it about this relationship that I'm so drawn to, or this content on social media, this story? Like, what is it that's really exciting me or pulling me in? So often when we're in a desire state, we'll find that we're also starting to feel either attracted to or longing for something else, something that maybe doesn't feel as present in our current situation. And this sort of magical, exciting combination of emotions and experiences is, I feel often in my own experience and what I observe in others, that catalyst or that spark for not shifting into change in the painful way, which often comes when breakdowns become breakthroughs, which I've had, which I've seen other people have, which are certainly valuable and transformative. But in this desire state where we're finding ourselves attracted to something, we're longing for something more, that seems to be activating more of like a daydream state, when we get creative, inspired ideas, when we get, impressions or glimpses of something that really light us up, that we just want to start sharing with people, or we can't get a paintbrush in our hand fast enough, or we can't make that phone call fast enough. That enthusiasm and enjoyment usually are on the coattails of this desire state. So the other thing too that I love about the emotion and the space of desire is that so often we feel this burst of energy and enthusiasm at the beginning stages of making a change. Like, I'm clear about what I want and why I want, because what I desire is to feel more powerful, more enriched, more invigorated. Like, I want more of that feeling. And so here I am. I'm going to work on my plan and I'm going to start executing the plan. And when we shift from the desire state to either the planning stage or the execution stage of change, I think sometimes what can happen, I know I have been there so many times myself, is I'm in the execution and I'm so focused, I become so focused on my plan or executing my plan or my timeline. Like I become so caught in the minutia and the detail of what I'm trying to do that the further and further down that path I go, sometimes I forget to take my desire with me, or I forget to remind myself, why was I putting forth all this effort in the first place? Why was I committing this time, this effort, this energy, my resources, like money and breath, right? Why was I doing it to begin with? And if I don't hold on to that, and I don't mean hold on like cling to it desperately, but if I don't sort of refresh and invigorate myself to kind of get myself back into that desire state, if the plan, my attempt of execution, if let's say it's a flawed plan, or through simple lack of experience and the process of learning, I realize, oh, either my timeline wasn't realistic, or this plan wasn't the right one, or maybe this relationship wasn't what I thought it was, all of which happen in normal life. Sometimes I'll abandon the whole thing as opposed to kind of holding that desire dear, honoring it, and just reevaluating my plan. So really what I'm encouraging is two different ways to look at desire and the value of desire. One is like activating and invigorating yourself, getting yourself into a desire state before trying something new, because it will help energize you. It will activate so many other just beautiful, it'll light up your brain in different ways. It'll activate different faculties. And also desire is so closely connected to pleasure that it'll also infuse the work that you do or the process that you're about to undergo with serotonin and dopamine, like all of the flooded happy hormones that we want. It can make the process of change even more pleasurable than if we were to approach with panic and fear and anxiety and attachment and worry. Then we're flooded with other hormones, and it can really add some different shades and colors to our emotional experience. So using desire as a way to really activate and inspire yourself before starting something new is a great way to just get yourself started on the best foot possible. And finding, maybe this is even something you work into your plan as you're in the execution stage, like maybe there's an actual step that you have, but reminding yourself of the why. The emotional why. Like, so maybe you have a really clear mission, maybe you have really clear values, but those also sometimes can become heady in a way. And so your personal, heart-driven, self-motivated desire for wanting to do this thing that you're doing in the first place, whether it's maybe you're still trying to working towards a New Year's resolution, right? We're only in February, right? So there's only been a few weeks in this new year. Whether it's a resolution or a new career path or a new relationship, we're always evolving. We're always growing and changing. Changing is just an inevitable part of existing on this planet because we're growth-seeking beings, and that's just how it goes. And I think we can almost kind of fall into a routine or fall into the execution or the day-to-day managing of life that sometimes we forget why. And so adding that desire, even if it's not something brand new, reminding yourself of why you're doing what you're doing can do so many things. It can help reinvigorate you, re-inspire you, or let's say you've lost touch with your why. You're so far down the road in this execution stage, or life just seems to kind of be monotonous and mundane. And you're like, gosh, I don't even know why I'm doing this anymore. I think I used to know why, but I have no clue I don't even know if I desire this anymore. Whatever comes up for you in the process of getting curious about your desire, that's still really, really valuable, insightful, powerful information that maybe you need. Because maybe what this is telling you is you lost your why and you need to rediscover it. Now, maybe the fear in that is that if I rediscover my why and it's not what I thought it was, maybe that means, itchy. Maybe that means I need to try to do something different. Maybe that means I'm going to have to make a different change. But holding on to the desire, letting that desire feel pleasurable. I love using the language like daydream. Daydream, imagine if What are you drawn to? What are you attracted to? What are you longing for? Following your heart in that way is going to lead you somewhere good. So I think even if what comes up for you, the clarity that comes up for you in exploring desire a little further is that, what if this means I need to change something? I don't know if I'm ready to change. That's okay. Oh my gosh, that's more than okay. Sometimes recognizing that a change needs to happen doesn't mean it needs to happen today. But the thing that we can't deny, we can try. We can certainly try. There's definitely no shortage of people that are trying to deny how they really feel, whether it's to people please or what feels like just basic survival. But that call, that whisper, that longing in your heart to reach for something that lights you up, that excites you, that challenges you in the best way possible, it's going to lead you somewhere good. Even if maybe the process initially of thinking about it is a little uncomfortable, there are so many examples in my own life and in the lives of clients that I've worked with for years and the lives of loved ones and family and friends that I know. This may seem a little trite or trivial, but I think there's definitely truth to it, as is with most cliches, like follow your bliss. I'm sure you've seen that meme or that written somewhere on a board in like a boutique or on a post on social media, follow your bliss. But really, it's going to lead you somewhere amazing. So what I'd love to do is just invite and encourage you, pull out a journal or call up a good friend and just say, hey, I really want to explore this topic of desire a little bit, and I'd love to bounce some ideas off you. And if that's not another person, again, crack open that journal, sit down with a pen, and just ask yourself, on the other side, maybe if you're coming from a place of discomfort, this could be a better question from you, or a question for you. Okay, on the other side of this pain, what I want to feel is blank. On the other side of the stressful or tough moment, I want to feel more of this. Now, if you're not in a pain state, right? If you're just kind of a relative baseline, if you are ready to start activating desire, or maybe you're already kind of in that state now, if I could wake up tomorrow, and I think it's important that it doesn't matter what day of the week it is, like that we're not trying to create a vacation mentality. We're trying to create, like, how can you create more desire and enjoyment and enthusiasm in your everyday? So if I were to wake up tomorrow, what emotion would I want to feel? And not just better, but like truly, like, how would you want to feel? I would want to feel joyful. I would want to feel content. I would want to feel at peace. Whatever that is, right? Let that emotion start to drive your thinking and your daydreaming as you're trying to activate a desire state. And you can also get specific too, if there's a particular area in your life you're wanting to hone in and focus on, whether that's career, purpose, relationships, intimacy, in my intimate life, in my sexual life, in my business life, I would love to wake up tomorrow and feel blank. And then let that kind of take you down wherever it needs to go, wherever you need to go, and see what comes up for you. As always, your time, your care, and your attention mean more to me than you know. Thank you for sharing this space with me here at Don't Cut Your Own Bangs. If you're looking to take this self-exploration work a little bit further, I have my treasure journal that has a guided meditation series that accompanies it. Thanks so much for tuning in, and I hope that you continue to have a wonderful day.